If just hearing the word networking makes you start to sweat a little, know that you are not alone. A lot of job seekers feel the same way. Yet it's estimated that 50 to 80% of jobs are filled through networking. So it is a vital piece of your job search. And today we're going to break down and demystify the two biggest reasons people don't network in their job search. Welcome to day 2 of the 12 Days of Job Searchmas, where you will find nary a coal in sight. Rather, you will receive actionable, tangible job search tips for 12 days. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a day. Hi, I'm Laura, and I'm here to take your job search from stressful to successful. Now, I want to make a quick distinction between networking and connecting. Networking is knowing more people, while connecting is knowing people more. And this is so important because there is such an emphasis on networking. And I don't know about you, but when I think about networking, I think about walking into a big room where I don't know anybody and I'm standing there trying to figure out how to insert myself into a conversation. So then I gear up, I walk over, and just when I walk over, they disperse. And I'm like, oh, okay, I've got to do this again, all in the hopes of having some business cards at the end of the night. But in reality, you should be focusing on connecting, and that is creating true, authentic connections one-on-one with people. So now let's move on to the top 2 objections on connecting that I hear. And the first one is that I don't know anybody. Whenever I hear this, I'm just like, okay, so you don't know anybody. Well, who do you know? And they're like, no, I know people, but I just don't know anybody who can help me in my job search. When you make this assumption, you are limiting yourself so much. It's true. Maybe your sister or your friend might not be working in that field or for that company, but you don't know who they know. In fact, there is a participant in my career relaunch workshop who landed her current job because of her hairdresser. Now, her hairdresser didn't work at the company, her hairdresser didn't even work in the profession, but she knew somebody who did, who then put her in contact with somebody else. And when you look at the people that you can reach out to, I like to look at it as 3 buckets: your personal, your professional, and your community buckets. Now, your personal are your friends, your family, the people that you might see at your kids' school pickup and drop off every single day, your hairdresser, the cashier you see each time you go to the grocery store. Your professional bucket are coworkers, past coworkers, mentors, past professors, people you volunteered with. And then your community bucket is really anybody in your literal community, your neighbors, or your online community, your interest based communities, organizations. I'm talking big. And when you look at it that way, you realize how limitless it really is. Every single person you encounter is a potential lead. And I want you to actually start writing down people's names in each of those buckets, because then you're going to see exactly how big this world really is and how many people there are who can help you on your job search journey. And speaking of help, if you are looking to level up your job search in the new year, I am starting the 2026 Job Search Jumpstart cohort. So if you are interested in joining, I will link the waitlist in the description below. And objection number 2 is I don't know what to say. Now, this one I get, right? You don't want to say the wrong thing. You don't want to come across as you're using that person. And there are actually a couple ways to go about this. And one is super organic. And let's say you were taking a walk and you ran into your neighbor on your walk. And they're like, so, how are things going? You can say, yeah, I'm excited. It's the new year. I'm actually thinking about pivoting into a new role. And most times that is organically just going to create a conversation. Oh, okay. Well, what are you looking to go into? Well, I'm thinking of actually maybe looking into this field. I'm still trying to feel that out a bit. Oh, I actually know somebody who works in that field. Would you like me to give them your contact information and you can chat? Yeah, that would be great. Now, that is completely natural and organic. And that actually happens way more than you may think. Whether you are at your kiddo's soccer game and you're chatting with the mom next to you, or you are having a conversation with your hairdresser or with your cashier. So don't discount just those normal everyday conversations. And there will be other times when you're reaching out to people that you haven't spoken with in months or even years. And if this makes you cringe and think, oh, well, I don't want to come off as if I'm using them because I haven't spoken with them in years and now I'm needing something, there is a little formula to how you should craft your emails. And one is, of course, you should always start with a very warm welcome. Two, you should give before you ask. And then you should be specific in what you are asking for. And then you should always have a call to action at the end. Here's where a lot of people go wrong. They think, I'll just create one email, I'll just blast it out to everybody. But think about that from the other end. Wouldn't you rather receive an email that you know is tailored specifically to you rather than seeing, like, it seems like this is a generic email where they didn't put any real thought into this. Hey, I'm looking for a job. Do you know of any? That doesn't make you feel seen. It's so important just to give a little before you make that ask. And this does not have to be overcomplicated. You can give in the form of compliments. You can give a congratulations. You can say, oh, I read your article and shared it with friends. You can give recommendations. You can connect them with other people in your circle. But starting off with that before you delve into the ask, it's just going to land better. And then, of course, don't leave it open ended and have them trying to figure out what you need or how they can contact you or when you're available. Just let them know that. Don't overthink this because it genuinely doesn't have to be overly complicated. Just think about the type of email that you would like to receive. And for today's activity, I want you today to think of one person and reach out to start a true connection that can help you in your job search in the new year. All right, I will see you over in day 3 of the 12 Days of Job Searchmas. Oh, and if you missed day 1, I've got it over here. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.